Good afternoon everyone, welcome to Bath City Radio for today's Vanarama National League South clash between Welling United and Bath City. I'm Mark Stillman, commentating throughout with Michael Powell on some rising duties. Following 5 defeats on the bounce against the top 7, it's a different proposition today as City are up against the side at the wrong end of the table. Peter Taylor, the 5th different boss to face the Romans here in 5 games, is in his 23rd job from 36 years of management, and fewer have been tougher than this. Last week's draw with Billericay kept Welling 6 points above the relegation trapdoor, and they'll be hoping to build on it against the side 1 point and 2 places above them. Sorry, one place and 2 points above them, I should say. City find Ebbsfleet impossible to break down last week. They'll be eager for more joy today against the worst defence in the division numbers-wise, with 65 flying past the wings this season in National League South at an average of 2.24 per game. So an intriguing contest awaits, Michael. You expecting it to be tense out there?
I think it will be tense by the very nature of their two sides who are desperate for a win and desperate for points. Neither are on good runs of form when you look at the form guide. So they're both in a situation, it's a little bit of a strange situation actually, because Billericay is still cut adrift. They're 6 points still behind Welling. They've won 4 games in 28. I kind of said this last week, even if they win 4 of their last 12, which would be pretty impressive, both these two sides probably only need 2 victories. So it's not like it's panic stations or anything like that, but equally they will both be viewing this as a massive opportunity against a side who are just one side below or above them.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's silly to label it a must win because there's about a quarter of the season left after today. Confidence-wise, though, for Bath City, if they build on their last away performance at St Albans, then surely they've got a chance of picking up all 3 points today.
I think that's why it's so important, and I think both sides are in the same boat, is because they've been on poor runs of form result-wise, that places greater expectation on this. If they both come in and they maybe won a few, maybe picked up 10 points on the last 10 games or something, I think it would be very different. But because they're both on those poor runs of form, you kind of look at this one and just from a mentality point of view more than anything else, if at the end of these 90 minutes one of these sides lost, they'll kind of be look at it and go, well, we can't beat the side next to us in the table. We might only need 2 wins, but where are they going to come from? So I think that's where the pressure comes from and why it feels like such a big game, even if the table at the moment still gives them both a little bit of breathing room. But in terms of your point about performances, I think Bath City can take a lot of heart from that game at St Albans that they should have won. It's as simple as that. And if they play to that level this afternoon, then they will get a positive result.
So it's Ben Allen over the top of the ball, willing to get this game underway after the players take the knee in the continued fight against discrimination. And the contest begins. Allen goes back to Durajai, who's long down the left, onto the head of Dyer, to Ryan Jones, helps it towards the left-hand side. Hooks it over the top, where Delaney is beaten in the air from Derry, heads it across to Akinyemi, now near the penalty spot, trying to get the ball under control. Akinyemi, he's laid about to Saunders. Henry is blocked from Ryan Jones, Dyer rather, and now City can break with Sims Burgess down the right-hand side, watching Durajai, who's a good strong challenge in the captain. Occupied by 2 City men. Ryan Jones takes it, floats it, unmarked for Sims Burgess, and he's headed it wide from around 14 yards.
Decent chance that for Sims Burgess. Excellent delivery by Jones. He's got away from his marker. He's in acres of space, and in truth, I think he should have at least been testing Jack Sims there.
Batten misses out in the air in the throw. Now it's Allen who's gone for a looping effort and tried to catch out Clark, but it drops a couple of yards wide with the goalkeeper's right post. Touches it to Freer on the left. He's under pressure from Allen and gives it away, but lose control from Durajaya. Now picked up from Rains. Sims Burgess is on the right-hand side. He's got there ahead of Campbell inside the penalty area. Sims Burgess tries to get it across, and the wing-back does well to prevent him, and at the expense of another City corner. It's going to be a long throw from Rains. Got it near the penalty spot. It's not fully cleared. Sims Burgess wins a header. Now to Ryan Jones on the volley, and he's hacked it all the way out of the ground. And now for a goal kick. Delaney. Freer should be onside. He gets it down the left-hand side. Yeah, Murray Grant keeps his flag down. Still Freer near the byline. Sends it across towards the back post. An important header away from Penny. Now near the corner of the penalty area to Rains. Got time to cross it back, and Fletcher just misses it. This time it's an important clearance from Davis. Rains will take. Again, a long one. Looking for Sims Burgess, who does get a flick on to Cook near the penalty spot. Cook turning away from trouble. back to Ryan Jones near the edge of the box. Rains is in room on the right hand side. He plays it across the spot from Penny. Sims-Burgess, he scuffed it. It's managed headed away at the near post in the well-placed Pearce. And Derry is penalised for bringing down Delaney, but Bath City have certainly been more goal threat in these last 10 minutes or so. They've got a set piece to deal with now. It's Frears running 35 yards out on the left, a two-man wall, Statham and Saunders-Henry. Decent ball from Freer. It's a header into the back of the net. Bath City have the lead. It's Cody Cook, the top goal scorer. He rose high. As Michael said, they didn't look comfortable defending set pieces. Well, that's just been personified there. 26 minutes gone, Welling 0, Bath City 1.
Talked about Elliot Freer's delivery as well, and that was superb. It was a hanging cross. It looked to start with like it was going to be a little bit too close to Sims. He thought the same. He came, didn't get there. Cook rose highest, ahead of the keeper, nodded it into what was an empty net. Terrific delivery, terrific header, and a vital lead for Bath City.
Cody Cook, Bath City top goal scorer. It's now to Akinyemi near the edge of the box. Allen's got a chance. Oh, he's put it wide. He should have scored. 10 yards out. Hesitation at the back. A big chance of Welling United, and they've spurned it.
He has to score. It's such a big opportunity to get right back on this game. Bath City having just scored, a little bit of sleep at the back, and well, Ryan Clark charges off his line to try and put Allen off, but it's no excuse. He's just got to roll it into the bottom of the corner, and he skewed it horribly wide.
Derry loses control. Bath City need to settle down a little bit, or maybe create an attack of their own with balls like that from Delaney to Sims-Burgess on the right hand side. Watch from Christian Campbell. The game is livened up now. Still Sims-Burgess, but the heavy touch. Campbell's got there in front of him. Eddie Jones got time. The line went up. 30 yards out. Sends it towards Fletcher. There's a header from Cook, and he managed to get a back header on it, but it's an easy gather from Sims. Allen takes it. Great ball, and Button has to head it away. Penny was on the far post. It appeals that there was some holding in there. Ball didn't go out of play for a corner either. Delaney's kept it in. Welling keep the attack alive there. But is Statham with a hanging ball towards the penalty spot. There's all sorts of pushes going on. There's no flag for offside though. It's out to Campbell near the edge of the box. Now Pearce, he's lost control of it. Trying to do it alone is Campbell on his unfavoured right foot, and he's managed to get a shot away, and Stallard and Ryan Clark, and there's a particularly muddy goalmouth in front of him. Throwing down the line for Akinyemi. Button, so recovered from that early injury, wins another header. Now forward where Fletcher's beaten in the air. Loose to Eddie Jones, but he won't have time to bring it under control because that's the end of the first half, and it's a half where Bath City will go in the happier. Cody Cook, the goal scorer, 26 minutes. Header from Elliot Freer's free kick. Nice header as well. Brave jumped in front of the goalkeeper. Well, the referee blew the whistle for the second half to get underway, and finally we do after a false start. It's sent over to the left-hand side. It's easily brought down from Fletcher. Spots an overlapping run of Freer. Bath City immediately on the front foot. Ball is deflected and conceded a corner. Whips it near the penalty spot. Dyer heads wide behind the yard wide. He leapt highest. Not the best of marking. Dyer was almost being marked by one of his teammates, but he couldn't quite direct it goalwards.
It would have been a dream start for the second half of Bath City, wouldn't it? Inside the opening 60 seconds. They get another set piece, another one which they look dangerous from.
Penny has taken about 10-yard advantage over taking that throw, which means he can get it further down the line. Dyer clambers above Akinyemi. Campbell passes away with Rains. Tries to play it against it. Now Akinyemi near the byline, so managed to keep it in play. He's now dribbling it all on Akinyemi, and he's blocked in the end by a sliding challenge from Button at the front post. Most of the rest of the players are inside the penalty area with Saunders-Henry on the edge of the box. Campbell near post, and is met from Penny, but not goalwards. Just back to the corner take. It's Campbell on the left-hand side. He's now charged down Jones, who uses good footwork with a right-footed delivery. It's a teasing ball, and again it's wide. That should have been a goal. I think it's Akinyemi who got the header on it. He's been prolific this season. That's a gilt-edged chance.
I've no idea how he's missed that.
They've gone short to Stevenson. Dave Sims-Burgess is overrun a little bit. Now Stevenson on the edge of the box. He shoots, and it goes through a couple of bodies. Allen was trying to stick a leg out to divert it in. Good fizz on it, a low effort from Stevenson, but in the end it goes around 6 yards wide. Maidstone have pulled one back at Slough-Town. John Luque and Ryan Clark picks up a yellow card for time wasting.
First man in the notebook this afternoon.
Colin Walchester couldn't be bothered to run forward further than halfway.
But Ryan Jones has got a really important job out on the Bath City right, along with Eddie Jones, because everything good for Welling is coming down their left with Campbell and Stevenson, so that's what they need to stop.
Good down the left for City now with Delaney, gets the ball near the 6-yard box. Jones gets there first, he stole in ahead of Campbell and tried to sort of volley it towards goal. It goes around a yard wide. Davis, told not very happy of being left out of the 16 last week. He's back in the day with the shortage they got at the back as Akinyemi plays over his own shoulder. Campbell with an ambitious volley here. Counts as a shot on target, but it sort of dribbles straight into Ryan Clark's arms. Ryan Jones picks up a loose ball from Pearce in midfield to Fletcher. Freer now on the left-hand side. City are piling then forward. Ryan Jones is up there, as is Fletcher. Holness and Cook too, near the byline. Chips it towards the back post, towards Fletcher, held it goalward. Cook goes down in the box and trying to control the ball. No foul really. He was under pressure from Durajai and Welling managed to clear with Stevenson. He's giving it away to Eddie Jones. Holness holds back Saunders Henry. A referee plays advantage. Could have gone back and given a foul actually, as Cook has hauled to the ground in the centre circle from Brad Pearce. It surely is a yellow card, and indeed it is. Pearce clears it long. Eddie Jones heads it towards halfway. Rather untidy. Picked up from Allen with a snapshot on the edge of the box, and it's easily gathered from Ryan Clark and clears down the line. But City are alive to every loose ball like that. Perhaps that's why the frustration is growing. I don't think it's the style too much. It's direct can sometimes work as Fletcher wins it off Saunders Henry. Now near the corner of the penalty area. Fletcher squares it across. Freer side-footed it wide. I don't think he was expecting it to arrive, but he really should have scored from 6 yards out. He scored at Twerton Park against Welling United, but he failed to score here.
Should be game over. It's as simple as that. Cody Cook, Alex Fletcher, terrific work rate to win the ball back off the Welling back line, and then Fletcher, he's inside the box. You think as a striker, is he going to go for goal? He doesn't. He squares it across goal, takes 2 defenders completely out of the game, and Elliot Freer 6 yards out. If he directs it on target, it's a goal.
Button's down with head injury. The game goes on. Allen scores! There's going to be controversy about that because Button didn't return to his feet, and in his absence, Allen managed to exploit the gap. He slipped it through Ryan Clark from 12 yards out. On 81 minutes, it's Welling United 1, Bar City 1.
Yeah, big moment in this game. Freer should have scored at the other end. He hasn't. And yeah, with Jack Batten down on the floor, clutching his head, there was a couple of passages of play. The Bar City players are understand frustrated. Omar Holness has got himself a booking for dissent. It's one of those where you would probably expect the referee to blow his whistle, but there was only a couple of passages of play, but it's played a big part because the gap in the defence where Jack Batten would be is where the goals come from and where the space is.
Don't think Jerry Gill's going to be too complimentary about Mr. Worcester at the end of this one. As Eddie enjoyed a difficult afternoon last week and sending off the Braintree manager Ryan Maxwell. I personally think the game should have stopped instantly because the ball was from just inside the Bar City half. The referee was alert to the situation. He looked over. Batten is still receiving treatment from Sarah Carr. There's going to be a lot of stoppage time at the end of this second half. That could be a big, big goal at the bottom of the table. Stevenson's over the top of this. Right-footed. Woeful delivery, cleared from Holness at the near post. Ryan Jones wins a follow-up header, plays it over the top. It's an interesting ball to Freer. He's got 2 defenders with him. He'll have to go alone. Still Freer. He needs support. Freer shoots. It's blocked from Statham, but I don't think Freer could do much more, really. He was outnumbered. But looking at Reigns. Holds off Stevenson. Still Ryan Jones. Can he produce some magic? Running inside now near the corner of the penalty area. Slips behind to Cook. 6 yards out, but he's forced wide from Pearce being held, but to Reigns, fizzes it across, important interception, and it loops straight into the air for Sims to gather. Near the 6 yard line, headed away from Dyer. Freer should complete the clearance, so he's headed it back inside. That was silly, and Durajaya's volley forward is a waste really, it's gone off target. Flipped on from Cook towards Fletcher, but he's lost out in this battle to Davis. It's a long one. Cook is Clark is hesitating and he's fouled. From Akinyemi, jumped in the air with him. Cook's normally, I keep saying Cook. Clark is normally more positive in that situation. And 6 minutes out of them, which sounds about right for me.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
City have become too open. It's now Muscat running at the Barnsley back line. He's got Allen in room on the right-hand side, scored the first goal, plays it back towards Akinyemi. Eddie Jones took a chance and going through him. Referee didn't see a foul. It's cleared as far as Campbell on the left-hand side. Floats over to the right where it's Statham is in position. Now inside to Muscat. Back to Saunders Henry. Welling adding a bit of pressure in these closing stages. They're looking for the 3 points to bring them away from the bottom of the table as Akinyemi brings it under control, and City cannot clear the lines. So they got a bit lucky there as Ryan Jones has managed to nick the ball towards halfway. Under pressure from Campbell, Stockton, now Holness, there's room in the middle of midfield. Holness instead floats it to the left-hand side, to Freer, tries to get it under his spell. Watch from Statham, still Freer. Freer is driven, an important clearance from Davis. He's got it out of harm's way, but only to Delaney in the penalty area. His ball forward as well. That is a vital interception from Tom Davis, perfectly placed, because otherwise it would have been a tap-in and Bath City would have surely gone home with all 3 points.
This is a crazy last few minutes. I said these two sides couldn't afford to lose. It would be really tight and tense. They're both throwing everything forward. I can't actually believe what I'm seeing.
Here's Ryan Jones now. He's got room to go inside the penalty area, but Stevenson's come back with him. Wonderful footwork from Ryan Jones. He's going to keep the ball in play. He does by the byline. No foul. Back to Cook. He's got loads of time to pick our man into the box. It's too high for Fletcher, and Delaney's going to have to scamper over from the left-hand side. Very open, very frantic in the second minute of stoppage time. Still 1-1. Delaney running at Muscat. Holds him off now. Can he get the ball across? He can. It's blocked at the near post from Pearce, and away for another throw-in.
It's an absolutely remarkable finish to this game.
Rains helps the ball forward towards the left-hand side. It's all very madcap football, this. It's now Fletcher over to Freer on the left-hand side. First-time ball is a decent one, but it's well plucked out the air from Sims. Ryan Jones is giving it away needlessly. Stevenson on the left-hand side. It's like a basketball game here in these closing stages. Stevenson's kept possession now 25 yards out. He might fancy a shot. Stevenson does shoot, and he's pulled it around 3 or 4 yards wide. He was given far too much time to shoot. And we have crammed in an awful lot of action in these closing stages. Up in the air, Rains flicks it on to Cook, still showing energy. Maybe one last chance for City. Over to the left-hand side, Freer is really going to have to get going down the left. He does keep it in play. 10 seconds remaining. Here's Freer, face from Statham, gets to the byline, plays it across. Jones couldn't get a full connection. It's still not fully cleared in the 6-yard box. Jones over his own shoulder and over the top of the bar. And that's the end of this contest here at Parkview Road, where both teams will have to settle for a point. It was Bath City who took the lead on 26 minutes. Cody Cook's header from Elliot Freer's perfect free kick, a neat glancing one, brave one as well from Cook as Sims advanced from his line. Welling equalised in the 81st minute. Ben Allen slid home after Batten had been grinded. Looked like with a head injury the referee allowed the game to continue, and where Batten was missing, the gap was exploited by Allen, who slipped about his first goal of his second spell back here at Parkview Road. Both teams had opening in the closing stages. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Absolutely crazy football. Either team could have gone on to win it. We both thought there could have been a late twist. There wasn't one. Bath City end their losing run. They picked up their first draw away from home all season. Michael, what's your verdict?
Well, it's a good question, Mark. It was, for 80 minutes, it was probably just what Bath City wanted and just what Bath City needed. They had themselves in front. They were defending well on the whole, and then that moment of controversy, you have to say, Jack Batten down with a head injury, Welling capitalised, and the last 8 minutes plus stoppage time were absolutely crazy, quite frankly. It could have gone either way. Both sides had openings. There was a couple of occasions where it looked like somebody was just going to tap the ball into the net, just didn't quite fall for either side, and you'd have to say, on the balance of play, a 1-1 draw is probably a fair result. I think both sides deserved something out of this game.
Yep, well, Sly Tyner next on the agenda. Thank you very much once again for tuning in. Where City pick up a point from Parkview Road. Our City will be looking for all 3 on Tuesday night against the Rebels at Turton Park. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.